When we speak about the impact of technology on society, we always talk about the positive effects of technology and on how technology has brought luxury to life, but forget that luxury has also brought in laziness. We talk about the internet as an information resource and a communication platform and conveniently ignore the fact that an overexposure to it leads to an internet addiction. We often discuss how technology has made life easy, but easily forget that it has made man overly dependent on it. Meet Sam, a student currently enrolled in Christian Alliance International School. Like other students, he enjoys going on the internet to go for email, texting, go on Facebook, and more. One day, as Sam was on the internet, he saw an article on myopia and wondered what it was like when technology wasn't as advanced as now. So he came up with a list of questions to ask people.
Think of the days when there were no computers and no modern means of transport. Human life was highly restricted due to the unavailability of technological applications. The life of the common man of those times was not as luxurious as that of the modern times, but he was more active. Daily exercise was integrated in the routine physical activities. It was contrary to the lifestyle of today, which carries no time slot for rigorous exercise and carries lazy and inactivity.
So what types of technology were available when you were growing up as a teenager?
The only things that I can remember as a teenager were transistor radios. We had cassette players, 8-track tapes, record players obviously, certainly TVs, but I think that's about it.
Okay. So in what ways did technology influence your everyday life when you were growing up?
You know, it didn't terribly much, except for probably a record player. I listened to records a lot at home. I watched a fair amount of TV, but not excessively. Certainly sports I watched, so I guess sports had the biggest influence, and some music.
What were some social problems you see today?
That I see today? Well, I guess some of the same ones that were when I was growing up. I mean, I think I think young people grow up a little bit too fast. I think sometimes boy-girl relationships are certainly a problem. Alcohol and drugs to a certain extent. It doesn't seem as much here as where I was growing up in California. But I don't think things have changed that much. Kids or young people like yourselves have many of the same difficulties that we had growing up.
So what did you do for entertainment when you were growing up?
Well, sports, as I said, for one thing. I got involved in some things that I shouldn't have got involved in, so I'm not necessarily sure this is what you want to hear on this tape. But I had some difficulties growing up with some different activities. So like I said, I don't think I'm supposed to say anything about those things. Okay, well, since I'm not, basically sport.
The internet is the fastest growing tool of communication ever. It took radio broadcasters 38 years to reach an audience of 50 million, television 13 years, and the internet just 4 years. The worldwide internet population is estimated at 1.08 billion. In 2000, there were 400 million users, and in 1995, 200 million users.
What types of technology were available when you were growing up as a teenager?
Well, there wasn't much for technology because I recall in my grade 11 year, this is back in 1977, my dad brought me a calculator. I was the only one in the whole school that had a calculator. And if you recall, those little ones we have in grade 6 were very fundamental little, just the keypad and plus minus times. It's all it had. And that was like considered, wow, it was miraculous stuff. Other than that, the typewriters, we used typewriters, actual typewriters with the tines. They weren't even electric yet in high school. In terms of our classes in school, very little technology. Video games, Pong. Boop, boop, boop. That's it, really, not much for technology at all that I can recall. Phones, no cell phones at all, no. I think facsimiles were just starting to be used. So that's about it for technology.
In what ways did technology influence your everyday life at that time?
Oh, man. When I was younger, technology, I remember coming home and watching TV. Then we got a color TV, maybe when I was grade 6 or 7. And so yeah, I can remember coming home and watching TV, so the family kind of did things in front of the TV a bit. so things started to center around a little bit of entertainment, but not a great deal. Technology-wise, in school, I don't recall much from that. No.
Did you see any social problems during your teenage years because of technology?
Well, not really. Video games we started to play, but more of the video games we played, we'd have to go to a video game parlor. I don't know, you go here and you do the racing games and you plug money in. That was starting to become an issue. Not maybe 10% of the people in the school would do that. So technology didn't really seem to present much of an issue when I was in high school.
Lastly, what did you do for entertainment during that period of time?
Entertainment? Well, I would be known to go to a video game parlor, as we called them, and play some video games. Just plug in the pinball machines, but more the video games like Space Invaders and Pac-Man a little bit. And then mostly we'd play sports. We'd just get a team together and go and kick the ball or play football or play some baseball. That would be more our form of entertainment. I guess we got a lot into after school parties and stuff like that, say on weekends, but that was very typical at the time. So I'd say sports and play cards, that kind of stuff. That's about it.
Thank you.
Think of technology as a boom to society. However, this is not completely true. The internet has bred many unethical practices like hacking, spamming, and phishing. Internet crime is on the rise. The internet, being an open platform for expression, lacks regulation. There is no regulation on the content displayed over websites, and exposure to the internet technology has resulted in addiction.
So, what types of technology do you see nowadays?
Well, there's cameras and phones and computers and televisions and iPods.
What do these mean to you?
Well, they mean a lot. I mean, they have a very big influence on me in my life. I use them all the time, everywhere.
Okay, do you see any social problems nowadays due to these technological advances?
Definitely. I mean, everybody's talking on MSN these days. We barely have a face-to-face conversation with our eyes and eyeglasses.
Okay, thank you. Lastly, could you tell me what you do for entertainment?
Well, I watch TV and I listen to music and I text and I play Nerf games.
Technology is probably one of the most influential tools in the world. With billions and billions of people approaching technology, it will serve as an important tool in people's lives. From the original Pac-Man game to the graphical RPG games, technology over the years have evolved drastically and improved to serve people's lives for the better good. Technology has allowed man to move from manual labor of the fields to cities and machines. It has also allowed huge cities to rise because of the urban core that has migrated to cities for improved services and job opportunities. Although there are countless things technology has contributed to the human society, we must not remember that the over-dependency on technology will impact us negatively.